While youth is often seen as a protective factor in sports, especially endurance sports like running, recent research suggests that younger runners, particularly adolescents and runners in their early 20s, may actually be more vulnerable to sudden injuries than many assume. Their bodies may recover quickly from fatigue and soreness, but that doesn't mean their tissues are fully prepared to handle intense training loads. In fact, age-related differences in musculoskeletal development, hormonal balance, and training adaptation may make younger athletes especially susceptible to acute breakdowns when stress exceeds their rapidly shifting capacity. One of the key factors is that the growing musculoskeletal system doesn't mature uniformly. In adolescents and young adults, bones, tendons, muscles, and ligaments adapt at different rates. A runner might build cardiovascular fitness rapidly and gain strength in key muscle groups, but the tendons and growth plates lag behind. This mismatch can set the stage for sudden injury. For example, the quadriceps may get stronger from hill repeats, but the patellar tendon may not yet be resilient enough to handle the repeated force. The result? Patellar tendinopathy, or even an acute tear, often appearing without much warning. Growth spurts also complicate training adaptation. A teen who gains 2 inches in height in a year may struggle with coordination, stride efficiency, and joint loading. These changes are subtle but significant. Bones elongate faster than muscles, and connective tissues can stretch or adapt, leading to tightness, asymmetries, and altered biomechanics. Many young runners continue training through this transition as if nothing has changed because their fitness may actually be improving. But their form becomes inefficient, and certain structures begin absorbing more force than they should. The injury often comes suddenly: a pulled hamstring, an inflamed Achilles, a stress fracture. Hormones further influence vulnerability. In adolescents and young adults, fluctuating levels of growth hormone, testosterone, and for female athletes, estrogen can all affect tendon stiffness, muscle repair, and energy availability. In females especially, if nutrition isn't sufficient to support both growth and training, the risk of menstrual dysfunction and resulting bone density loss rises sharply. This makes injuries like sacral and tibial stress fractures far more common among high school and collegiate female runners, even those following safe mileage plans. Another concern is that young runners often lack training history, the years of base conditioning, form refinement, and body awareness that help older athletes avoid injury. They may be able to run fast, but they haven't yet learned how to detect early warning signs: the dull ache that signals trouble, the fatigue that requires a day off, or the compensation pattern that starts to shift their gait. Without this experience, they may push through small signals that an older runner would instinctively respect. Add to this the cultural and psychological pressures many young athletes face: college team expectations, social media comparison, the lure of breaking personal records, and the risk compounds. The desire to keep up or prove potential can override caution. And while the recovery window might seem shorter in youth, that can lead to more repeated strain without sufficient healing. Injuries in this group often feel sudden, but they are frequently the end result of a complex, poorly visible overload that's been building for weeks. The positive news is that awareness can change outcomes. With the right guidance, young runners can build strength, resilience, and longevity. This includes periodized training that accounts for growth stages, integrated strength and mobility work, close monitoring of nutrition and menstrual health, and, most importantly, education about how the body adapts over time. Teaching younger athletes that soreness isn't always harmless and that injury isn't always earned through high mileage can empower them to speak up early and train more sustainably. Injury prevention in youth running isn't about holding back talent. It's about building it responsibly. A runner who learns to train smart at 16 has a far better shot at still enjoying the sport at 26, 36, and beyond. Because in the long run, the goal isn't just speed. It's staying strong enough to keep moving forward.